Hello, good evening, or good afternoon, actually. I am back with Mrs. Z, so we can, hello, yes, so we can talk about our target behavior and the issue we've been having for student J. So we are here to talk about some updates as well as some suggestions on implementing a behavioral plan regarding your student about his shoes and his clothes.
Okay.
So I've been looking at the data that we talked about last time, and I came up with some hypotheses to work with so we can replace this unwanted behavior. And so here we go. So we talked about how the setting event, which is when the student takes his clothes off as soon as he comes in. Can you tell me a little bit more about that so we can just remind ourselves?
So the clothes off is less of what as soon as he comes in. That's the shoe part, by the way. The clothes is more during the quiet time. So as soon as he comes in, he automatically, we have a routine for all of our students where they come in, they take off their jacket, any outerwear they have, and then they put it in their cubby along with their bag. Their lunch bag goes in the bin, and then we have some table work that we do.
Okay.
This student J will typically come in, and as soon as he gets in, his shoes and socks always come off.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, of course. And then you mentioned that he doesn't wear them at home or daycare either.
Yeah, no, he's usually inside a lot. And so when he's inside, his daycare provider, along with his mom, they don't really have him wear his shoes inside. So
okay,
there's that.
So when does the shoe part become a problem?
It becomes a bigger issue when we're leaving class, like to go out. Our classroom is self-contained, which means that there's a locked door. So in order for somebody to come in, they either have to have a key to get in or they have to be let in. When we leave to go to specialists like library, music, PE, he has to have his shoes on because he's going into the rest of the building, and shoes and socks are expected within the rest of the building, along with when he goes to lunch. So, and then when we go to sensory room.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Other than that, like when he's in the classroom, it's not that big of a deal for him not to have his shoes on because we monitor what's on our floor and stuff, and we're pretty good about it. It usually becomes an issue when we go to leave the classroom or have to transition to another part of the building.
Okay, so then I came up with a suggestion. So maybe you mentioned that on Wednesdays is the worst because it's like a little bit different, and so it's then the other days you guys have early dismissal, so he's probably a little bit confused. I was thinking maybe we can try to mimic the regular days on Wednesdays. Would that work for you? Would you be able to implement that?
Yeah, that would definitely do it. And then the other thing that might work is instead of having him have his shoes on like for a full day, of starting out small, keep them on for an hour, or when we if we don't have incidents when we go to transition from classroom time to specialist time or to lunch time with his shoes, then he gets reward. And then using something that we call PEX, which is picture educational cards, picture educational cards.
Okay.
So they're little cards with little pictures of first this, then whatever. So then he would get a preferred reward.
Okay. Okay. So, you said he really likes to play on his device or use whiteboards with like markers and draw. So I'm suggesting maybe we can, the first alternative behavior, the first hypothesis that maybe we can try out is, like you said, try to keep his clothes and shoes on with like increments to build up to, like, 10 minutes, and then he can like maybe earn like 1 minute for each 10 minutes he keeps them on. And then we can monitor how long until he tries to take them off. And then I also would like to see if mom can get on board with us and bring in extra onesies and more fitting clothes, so we can avoid for him to even try to take them off. If she can be on board with that, it'll probably be better for him to not be able to take it off. And so those two suggestions, and then so the alternative consequence. So usually with regularly when he starts, taking everything off, you have to kind of stop what you're doing unless the other para, you mentioned that you need a para in your class and you're short one para. Okay, so
Yeah.
the consequence when he does this is that you have to take so much time out from the other students and teaching so you can try to keep his clothes on. Okay, so the alternative behavior we would love to see is to, of course, not waste time trying to get him to put his shoes on when you guys go to specialists and things like that, and for part of the day at least. Okay, so I think the second hypothesis we would like to see is to keep him on the whole day, and obviously only take off the onesie when you're doing the stand-up diapering. And he gets rewarded, and hopefully when he sees that he's getting rewarded with what he loves to do, he'll just kind of get used to keeping everything on. Let's see here. So mimicking the behavior, talking to mom. Is there a way when you guys walk into the classroom where, the setting event, how he just, as soon as he walks in, he takes his shoes and socks off? Is there a way we can change the way he comes in? Do you have like another one-on-one or anybody in there when you guys come in, or is that like
I do have another one-on-one, but he's usually one-on-one with just his specific students. So
let's see.
In the morning when they come in, they do the table work, and then they get to have breakfast.
And he's running around, not sitting during breakfast as well.
Yeah.
Maybe you can have at his breakfast, at the table, a whiteboard and marker waiting for him. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah, that would probably definitely get him to stay in his seat.
Yeah, so like, as soon as, they walk in, he already gets kind of like excited and distracted by the whiteboard and the marker. So then instead of thinking, hey, I'm going to take my shoes and socks off, he'll start thinking, hey, I'm about to go draw.
Oh yeah, that would definitely work. We can definitely implement that and then see. That is definitely something we can use the picture educational cards, the PECs for, like I said.
Okay.
Because we do for other students have a first this, then this. And it's like, first we do whatever the assignment is and then we get our reward.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, so if he can't take, I wonder, I mean, I don't know if I want to suggest, so are there onesies? I don't know, but those sound like baby onesies. You know, the ones with like the socks too?
Oh, the feety ones, like the little sleeper ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. His mom has tried like sending him in different types of shoes.
Yeah.
She sent him in like the socks with slides or socks with Crocs or socks and tennis shoes. And
so different combinations.
Yeah, the only one that was like pretty successful for him staying in was tennis shoes, but the tennis shoes were pretty tight fitting, so they weren't exactly comfortable. So I think it might be
the footsie.
I feel like it's like a sensory issue.
Oh, okay. So I don't know. I was thinking maybe like the footsie onesies with like boots or something. I don't know.
Like rain boots or something.
With some rain boots, something like a little bit bigger, like so he won't even feel that he has shoes on.
Yeah.
Feel a little bit more comfortable.
Yeah. I can make the suggestion to Mom that we try rain boots because that's the one thing we haven't tried.
Oh, good. Okay. So, yeah, that's definitely would be a great hypothesis to test some rain boots with footsies.
Yeah.
Just until, he just automatically doesn't take them off anymore and then maybe he'll forget about that and start just coming in and
changing his routine.
Yeah, changing his routine a little bit. So, and then during quiet time when he wants to take his clothes off, is there a way right before quiet time you can kind of get him started first on, like a video on his, the device he likes, just because like when it does become quiet time, he's already into his video that he's not even thinking I should get up and start taking my clothes off.
No, definitely, it's definitely something that we can do. We do have a separate little area where he can be with his device, so then it's not disturbing to the rest of the class, but then we can still monitor him.
Oh, okay.
So that definitely would work for there.
Yeah, and then, okay, so, yeah, it's a sensory thing to be barefoot. I completely understand. Some material is kind of just bothersome. How about the you said the PECs, the picture educational cards? How about, does he ever like follow those? Does he ever like look at them and choose and follow?
Typically we do have like our class schedule with PECs. So he will follow along with that. What I have seen in other classrooms, but we haven't necessarily done, is where the students move like their pictures according to where we are as far as our schedule goes.
Okay.
But that is something that like we can make him an individual folder for it to use for his we can make him an individual folder with his daily schedule on it. With the PECs.
Yeah, and then like kind of like not throw him off, but kind of like reroute him with his own pecs.
Mhm.
Like, oh, as soon as we walk in, it's video, on your preferred device time, or or actually the whiteboard with the markers time,
Mhm.
like kind of like along with the breakfast, or even like right before the breakfast part,
Yeah.
like while, the other students are like getting settled.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea that the other class is trying. Safe choice. Let's see here. Building the time. Enforce goals. Yeah, so like using the PECs to enforce that goal. And, even if we start a little bit, start small.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be permanent, just, until we kind of switch him around a little bit in the way he even like thinks about it, because we have to just, the only thing we have to do is kind of just make him want to do a different behavior, instead of his own routine is, oh, take my shoes and socks off. Oh, it's quiet time. I'm gonna take my clothes off.
Yeah.
So maybe, kind of trying to switch his little brain a little bit, and, have him kind of like just reroute him to what we want him to see. And so, his shoes being on for longer, um, instead of you trying to rush right before specialist or lunch, maybe like, well, hopefully we'll work up to him not taking them off at all, but like on the days that he doesn't have a footsie, because I'm sure mom is not gonna just have him in onesies every single day,
Right.
On those days, we can keep like, positive reinforcements, and reminding him he's doing great, and maybe we can try to put his shoes and socks back on, like way ahead of, not way ahead, but
before it's time to transition.
Yeah,
to that activity.
Yeah, exactly. Before we transition, just so you won't like rush right before you have to leave, like, uh-oh, his shoes and socks are off. Now we have to do this, and now everybody's running late, and and just until at least you get hopefully another para and like a little bit more help.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Trying to make sure. We have so much data here. Just trying to ensure that we are changing. Okay, so let's see here. Does he, I don't think I've asked you this last time, but does he like to participate in like, what is his like preferred activities?
His preferred activity is anything physical, anything where he can like throw a ball or an item. He likes that.
As long as he's moving.
Yeah, as long as he's moving and he's climbing. He's a pretty active student. Additionally, he does like drawing and coloring. So the whiteboard is a really good idea.
Okay.
And then he does like watching videos on his device.
So with coloring, do you think you can have like a bin for him with like maybe a coloring book of like a cartoon he likes?
Oh yeah.
And like,
I'll talk to mom and see what he likes.
Yeah.
And then have a bin with some crayons and some things. and so that can be like a choice he gets from that
Yeah.
day.
And because, maybe try to like switch it around a little bit just so he can like get excited about it every day.
Yeah.
How about maybe like the bin to also have some kind of like sensory toys? Maybe
Some
like
fidgets.
little like fidgets or like a little ball or something. Like
Oh, yeah.
even when he's like eating breakfast, um, so he can like, while he's eating, so he won't stand up and run around. He can like, like do like playing while eating or something
Yeah,
like that.
Yeah, no, that'll work. Definitely can be done.
Has mom ever? Is she like? She's not training him yet to use the
No.
potty. Not yet.
She said he hasn't had any, shown any interest in it. So,
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, and then you have the beanbag chair in the quiet room. Does he like sitting on a beanbag chair?
Yes, he does. So that's the area I was specifically talking about during quiet time where we could put him.
Okay. What about like for the other times, like during class? Would you be able to? It'd probably be too much to kind of put the beanbag during, during class
No, but
time?
the room is off of our classroom. It's inside of our classroom.
Oh.
And it's off of the classroom. So like if we say, hey, Nicole, stay on at 10 minutes, you earn some free time in the beanbag chair. So we could take him and put him in the quiet room area.
With his little bin or something?
With his bin and the beanbag chair.
Okay.
So that could definitely be another reward and another thing that we could show on the PECs.
Okay. Does he, you said, I think you mentioned before that he likes math time? Does he like math oh no, that was just one of the activities you guys do after quiet time. How does that look like after quiet time?
He transitions well out of quiet time. It's the transition into quiet time that we're having the issue with.
So if he's just used to doing something, then he's okay after a little bit.
Oh,
okay. Well, that sounds very positive. Because if he gets used to not taking stuff off, then it'll be easier and easier. So he'll be able to learn. Okay, so after quiet time, during math time, he's fine with that. That's good. Okay. Have you talked to? Maybe do you think you'll be able to get like the specialists on board to kind of like remind them, hey, if you keep your shoes and socks on in here, I think your teacher, Mrs. E, is gonna give you this or.
Yeah, no, that's the other thing about if we have an individualized PEC schedule for him. It's something that he takes with him. It's like a folder, and it has like Velcro PECs of first this, then this, and then this is usually the reward he gets. So it would be first specialist, then specialist and shoes, then reward when he gets back.
Okay. So I remember on Wednesdays, because it's a potential of missing choice time, is there a way you can like alternate his specific time to have a little bit of choice in there? Kind of modify.
We can modify quiet time so that he has choice time during our quiet time and like the quiet area, like we said.
Okay. So even while the others are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even while the others are having their quiet time, then he gets some choice time as well.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Sit longer than a few minutes. Okay. Is there anything that you want to maybe talk about to work on for his clothing and shoe situation?
No, I definitely think if we can get him even to have his shoes on for part of the day, that's better than expecting them to stay on for all of the day. So like if he comes in and his shoes come off in the morning, but we can get him back on and we can get him to stay on till specialist, or as long as we can get him on and stay on at specialist, or stay on when he's at lunch or recess. Like that's better than not having his shoes on and having him outside of the classroom.
Okay.
So I definitely understand the building up his endurance with that, and then even like the clothes on, because like our quiet time's not very long. It's about an hour and a half. So starting at like 10 minutes, like we had said, that would definitely work. And then attempting to follow the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday schedule on Wednesdays as much as we can.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna feel slightly rushed in the morning.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it is a late start. But we can definitely do like an abbreviated like reading lesson in the morning during breakfast.
Yeah.
Instead.
Okay. Yeah. And then just like add that on his little Velcro.
On his text card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely. I think if we can get the alternative behavior, which is him having his shoes on part of the time, or even his clothes staying on part of the time during quiet time, that it's better than being like, no, it must be desired behavior all the time, desired behavior.
Yeah. Start small.
Because like if I'm looking at it, like his consequence that he wants is more attention.
Yeah.
I feel like he's demanding for more attention than anything else. But this way, he gets preferred activities in addition to having the time be used the way it should be used as well.
Okay. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm learning right now that we can't just go from 0 to 100. We have to kind of, go up like steps.
Yeah, you have to build his stamina up. You can't expect it to happen like right away.
One step at a time is definitely better than just being stagnant and just in one spot and having this issue continue for you.
Oh yeah. Having me have bald patches of hair because I'm pulling my hair out. Yeah, that's not preferred. That's not preferred.
We wanted you to keep your hair and, not leave because of Student J. I'm sure he'll, it'll be way more wonderful in your classroom to fix this behavior and just kind of instead of constantly worried, like, is he gonna take this off or that off?
No, I'm excited to bring these choices back into the classroom with me and to see how Student J does. I think it's some really, you came up with some really good and key ideas.
Thank you. I've been thinking and looking through, all the notes and information and running back the video from last time, and I'm like, this is what can be tried. Okay. Well, thank you so much for meeting up with me again. I really appreciate your time.
No problem. I appreciate meeting up with you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.